hear everyone say, take what they give you. We're going to take what we want.
As you can see right here, this is the current status of the Raiders, and I'll get to the color codings in 1 minute. We have our rankings. This is based on yards per game. Not too bad overall. If you remember, we had our season review, and the big thing there was that we were having issues not only on third down being below average in the league average, but really still having the problems in the red zone scoring touchdowns. Now, as far as the color coding goes, if you see silver around the player, that means we have him for at least 2 more years. If you see yellow, this is their last year coming up in the 2023 season. And if you see red, that means they will be a free agent on March 15th. The first place I want to talk about, of course, to fill the hole of departing Derek Carr. Even Jarrett Stidham is an unrestricted free agent at this time. Now, here are some options just like we've done last year. I'm going to go through each one of these. Aaron Rodgers is due to make $32 million next season. Now, that's not necessarily meaning he's only going to settle for that if we do have to trade for him. And that's why I put this asterisk there, because it's going to cost us draft capital to get this guy if we choose to go in that direction. Jimmy Garoppolo, SpotTrack.com had him valued at $35 million. I would say closer to $30 million. If that was the case, I'd definitely rather have Derek Carr at $35 million. He is an unrestricted free agent. I think Garoppolo would be available. I think that's a little pricey. Then I went and showed some of the rookie quarterbacks. Now, I took the top 6 Pro Football Focus. This is their rankings. I will get into my rankings later as we get closer to draft time. We got Bryce Young from Alabama, of course. He's the first one on their board, likely to go first overall. His knock is that he is not the biggest person at quarterback, and people are a little worried that he might not have a shelf life. Will Levis is their number 2 ranked quarterback. Big kid, you could say he is Josh Allen light, and I would say very light because I really kind of question his decision making and some of his accuracy at times. Number 3 is CJ Stroud. Ohio State showed out big even in a losing effort. Next one is Anthony Richardson, kind of a wild card. Some people say he's Lamar. I've said before, I think he's more of a Cam Newton. I think he throws the ball a hell of a lot better than Lamar Jackson does. I'm thinking somewhere in the first. I think I put asterisk these first 3. I think these guys will be gone by the 7th pick. So if we want them, we're going to have to move up. Richardson could be available at 7. He could also be available late in the first round if we move up. Then a couple guys, Tanner McKee from Stanford. Some people are high on him. And then Hendon Hooker, 25-year-old, 10th year senior or whatever from Tennessee. He's had his ups, he's had his downs. Mocks to be in the 2nd round. I know some of you guys are looking at him as well. So these are our options at quarterback. I'll be doing the defensive side of the ball next week, and then I'm going to tie it all together with what I would want to do and tie it in with the salary cap. The second hole that I want to look at, now I mentioned this in our salary cap review last week. If you haven't taken a look at it, go ahead and take a look at that as well. I'm all for cutting Andre James. We could save $5 million on the cap. Move Dylan Parham to where I think he should naturally be at starting center, which means we're going to need not only 1, but 2 guards. Alex Bars is a UFA, but I think he sucks anyway. We should not retain him. So we're going to have 2 positions open the way I see it. And here are some of the options I'm going to look at. Kind of go top down. Isaac Seumalo, Philadelphia Eagles. He's probably going to be the coveted prize. SpotTrack has him going at $12 million. I put it at around 10. Still a hefty price to pay for a guard, but he is the 9th ranked guard in PFF. And then a couple guys, if you're familiar with the AFC West, you know these names. Trey Turner and Dalton Reisner. Turner before he was with the Chargers, and Dalton Reisner, Denver Broncos. I put it probably be about $5 million to retain him. Kind of some lower vet options. And then I have 3 guys in the draft. Peter Skoronski. A lot of people say he might be the first offensive lineman off the board. Played left tackle. His knock is people say he has short arms. He might not make it as a left tackle in the National Football League. Move him into guard. I think he's probably ready-made to do that. So if we want him, it's going to be a 1st round pick. Osiris Torrance. I like this guy. Big, bruising type of guy from Florida Gators. Kind of a beast. I think we could get him around late 1st, 2nd round pick. He might move up in the draft. You never know by April. So, but he's definitely an option to kind of get back to the Raider way, to be more physical. be able to run the ball even better than we have been in the interior offensive line. And then the third guy, Cody Mock, I call him Trevor Penning light. This guy is got attitude out the wazoo. He even kind of looks like a little pirate if you see him. He's kind of got red hair. He's missing teeth. North Dakota State guy. He might make it into the first round when it's all said and done, but right now he's projected as a second round pick. And what I like about him, again, another guy who's played tackle. They're not sure if he can make it in the NFL level, but there is some versatility there. He might be able to play some in relief, but I like him better at guard. He's very athletic, follows through, and he wants to hit people. He wants to find blocks down second and third level and take people out. He is not slowing down. Our third position, of course, I've got to say it, guys, because it's running back, of course. I'm not so sure we're going to be able to keep Josh Jacobs, and I talked about this last week. If we want to, it's going to be a franchise tag. That means we have him for 1 year. We have to pay him the average of the top 5 running backs, and that's roughly $16 million. That's a huge payout. But I put some veterans here, of course. Saquon Barkley's going to be a free agent. Probably going to demand around 12 or 13 million. Looked pretty good this season. Coming off the knee injury, 2 years removed, over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, solid type back. Then we got a couple of lower price guys. Kareem Hunt, remember him with the Chiefs, spent some time with Cleveland. Now he's going to be out looking for a new team. And then Jamal Williams, a very underrated running back, a guy who can get those goal line carries as well. Don't fool you, he was over 1,000 yards this season. And I think that could be an option, especially a low price option, especially if we don't keep Josh Jacobs. There are 3 running backs I want to look at in the draft. There are several more. Of course, we're going to talk about Bijan Robinson, University of Texas. Could go in the first round, maybe first or second round. Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama, more of a third down type back. I don't think he's big enough to handle the load of a bell cow like Robinson is. But could be a nice side piece with that if we do retain Jacobs. And then Devin Achane, Texas Tech. If you're looking for a spark, this guy was a former track team guy. He's got the burst. He could run back punts for you as well. He might be worth a look in maybe the second or third round. Probably more the third round since we have a high round pick. But that could be something that could be very special for us. And he can catch the ball, of course.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.